The man had been drifting on the sea for 2 days due to a plane crash, and when he ran out of food and was in despair, he finally saw a sailboat not far away, but when it got closer he realized that it was a big shark. Marco took out his dagger in defense, and when the shark came to him, he took it and stabbed it. Although he managed to kill the shark, he was still not out of the predicament he was in. I don't know how long he drifted for a few days without food. Marco had completely given up struggling, but when he woke up again, he found that he had drifted to a sandy beach. After resting, he put out a distress signal with the coconut shells he had finished drinking in the hope that the plane would see it when it passed by. But the key to getting out of here was to rely on himself. He built a homemade 6-minute meter to identify his location based on the sun's rays, but the results were disappointing. He deduced that this was probably an island and was hundreds of kilometers away from the mainland. And even worse, there were probably cannibals on the surrounding islands. But the most important thing now was to find a way to survive first. After a period of time, Marco had gradually mastered the basic survival skills. One day he decided to explore the island, but after hours of walking he didn't see a single sign of human life. Undeterred, he went to the top of the hill and looked out and saw that it was indeed a deserted island, which made him feel sad. But he still had hope that as long as he survived, there would be a way out. He did not choose to go back to the original way but to the other side of the island just when he thought the same result. But to his surprise, he saw a series of footprints on the ground. But it does not seem to be a normal human footprints. But Marco decided to go up to take a look. Although he wasn't sure if they were monsters or cannibals, he didn't want to miss any human tracks. He followed the footprints all the way to the shore and found a submarine stranded not far from the shore. The submarine looked abandoned from the outside, but Marco was curious enough to open the hatch when he thought there might be enough supplies inside. He carefully entered the submarine inside, where he found a large amount of supplies, and even more surprisingly, there was an orangutan living inside the submarine. So it seems that the footprints should be his. From the tag on the gorilla's body, he knew that his name was Pineapple and his IQ was equivalent to that of a 7 or 8-year-old child. Since the pineapple, Marco finally does not have to live alone, and with the help of the pineapple, Marco has built a shelter. When he was bored, Pineapple could entertain him, and Marco was full of hope. Every day he would write a letter of distress hoping that someone would find it and follow the coordinates to this place. One day they were playing soccer and accidentally hit the ball into the jungle. When Marco came to the jungle he saw a series of footprints on the ground. At first he thought they were the pineapples, but on closer inspection they looked more like human footprints and they seemed to be a woman's. It suddenly occurred to Marco that something was wrong. He followed the pineapple to the jungle and then he realized that it was a woman's. Suddenly Mark thought of something. He followed the footprints to a spring near the jungle where Mark found a cave and realized that it was built by humans. Mark went to the entrance of the cave and looked out to see a woman walking towards him. Mark was so excited that he tried to climb out, but he accidentally fell and knocked the woman unconscious. When the woman woke up she was about to run away. Mark rushed to grab her and said she had food and a room that she had built herself. When she heard this, she calmed down,